Hello? Oh, let me first check my stream. Alright, I think we're on. Everything is good. Welcome back to episode 24 of Garden of Grind. Greg Tech New Horizons. Last time we sort of rebuilt the farm again for the fifth or fourth time. I don't even remember the real number. And this time I think it's not the most efficient one, but it's got some experience at least. Oh, I should always kill these guys because they're important. Jay, hi. The design is flawed, of course, because I can't really get the items unless I destroy these two blocks that sort of stop the water from flowing. I think I really want to build that clock that's gonna piston in and out those blocks. Yeah, don't worry, it's not me dying to mobs. No. What is RC1? Release version? Release candidate 1, okay. So not the release yet. Oh, okay. What I don't like about updating my world is that whenever the release is out, there will always be like a 2.8.1, then it's going to be a 2.8.2, and every time there's something... At one point I played on 2.7.3, I think, and I was like thinking, should I update to 2.4 because everything runs smooth for me, you know? But then I did that just to start with a good, like with a clean version, you know. That's fun. Are you cooked with them? Are you going to continue? Are you going to continue playing with the guys, or you're like for good with them? You know. I think that's the smartest decision ever to play solo, because playing with somebody is just so unreliable. Even if the guys are smart, sometimes you can fail, and you'll bear that responsibility as well. You have to be forgiving to let others fail, even though you're quite as capable of failing as well. I'm actually starting to feel sick today, but still decided to sort of check in, because I just thought about all the things that I should do, and it kind of motivated me a bit. I think people, when things like that happen, they play like with no sound and no webcam, just like the game itself. And I, for some reason, decided to keep it all on. And Jay, since you're playing on a server with these people, do you share like do you guys share costs of like renting a server? Because I believe you should have like the server rented. Using some service or whatever that does that. Okay. Did you find it? Did you find this thing? This person via Discord? Was he like hiring or, you know, recruiting people to play with him? Okay. You know, I would love to play like on a server with like 4 people, maybe 5 people, whatever. And but I want those people to be very dedicated and very professional. But since I am not even close to being professional in this game, I know a few things, but it doesn't mean that I know everything. Like some people that come in here and tell me what to do, those guys do know everything. I'm probably underqualified now, and as soon as I feel that I'm sort of like okay with the game, and at least as soon as I have 1 Stargate, I think I can be eligible for one of those multiplayer runs where I won't be the last one falling behind constantly because I don't know shit about game. So what's our plan today? I think we're going to continue grinding for BBF. We don't really... I mean, we don't really have much resources, but we've got a somewhat stable source of experience. And that kind of works well, and let's just keep collecting those buckets. Also, I need some general amount of resources I need. I have almost 2 stacks of clay dust. Since I already built a brick blast furnace. Hilarious, yeah. Oh, it's evening in where I am. But I guess good morning to you then. Guys, today I've there was like a discussion on Reddit about the best GTNH player. I mean, not the player, but the streamer slash YouTuber. Lots of people named our dear friend Neurotic Goose that was here, that visited us a couple of times. But also there were lots of people that talked about Carrix82, which is of course a legend. But then I realized that they also started saying that this guy was like a living meme of sorts, because he did things really ineffectively. And I sort of felt bad for the guy, because he genuinely tried his best with all the uploads and with all the playing. And the guys that they didn't like mock him or anything, but they were saying like he was super ineffective. I like they couldn't watch him do certain things because it was so ineffective and stupid. And I felt like, but this was him playing. Like, you don't get to say who's playing is better, you know? I mean, you can do that, you can decide that for yourself and not watch the guy, but saying that to the general public is sort of, I think it's a bit wrong. Of course, everybody's entitled to their opinion, but I wouldn't say that Carrix was bad or anything. He's like almost the only guy that I watched Let's Playing GTNH, and I felt super excited whenever he had a new episode. And I didn't even think that he was doing some things the wrong way. Yes, when I started playing myself and I progressed further than he did, not because I was faster or anything, but because he would stop or something, I felt that some things I would do differently, you know? But I liked some of his ideas, like, for example, when he stored all of his liquids in one of the seasons in RC tanks. That was pretty smart. I also wanted to do that, but realized that the hassle is just too huge, you know, but the way it looked was really good. So what I was driving at is that I think Carrix82 is not a meme or anything. People on Discord that are like trying to play as close as possible to the perfect like a perfect way of playing the game, they're outright boring, you know. It's important to realize that you're playing the game and that it can be played in a free way, the way you want it to play. And all the people that praise the average Crackdeck player that started around a few months ago and already scraping close to building his Stargates, it's like, Okay, and then what? Yeah, it's kind of impressive, sure, but it doesn't mean that he's more fun than Carrick City 2 or more enjoyable to watch than Carrick City 2 or anything. So, yeah, Solarius Farm is looking good. It's got some flaws, of course, and I would love to fix that, but I don't think I have the guts to do it at the moment. And it's not even about the guts, it's mostly about the willingness to do it. So I wanted to bookmark the entire BBF craft. Brick blast furnace. I already have the controller. And I need 32 fire bricks. So, the plan is laid out. The worst thing here is... Oh, so 128? 128 clay dust, is that true? Is that the correct number? They say 144. Ah, it's because I already built a controller, yes, so I have enough clay dust. Yes, I do. That's really good. Now we just need to gather 300, almost 400 clay. I should probably do that with... I mean, I've always wondered why I can't turn clay dust back into clay. I mean, I can't, right? Oh, actually, there's a way. No, there isn't. There isn't a way. You know what I like about this farm? Is that it's not exploding. Because mobs are dying pretty quickly and there is no clutter inside, you know. Also I read on GitHub that there isn't a 100% safe way of building a mob farm. They're always gonna explode, whatever you do, because sometimes things just go the wrong way. My god. Well, that's not good. We need to replace it now. I think I overdid the clay dust. Could have used my resources a bit better. I mean the XP buckets. So now let's think about getting some clay first. Because we need 384 bricks. So I'm going to buy clay every 5 minutes. As long as I have all the coins, I could probably do it, I think. Let's not forget about turning all this into clay bricks. Concerning the rest of the recipe, so we lack 96 brick dust, which is just bricks, plus we also need 32 stone dust and 32 quartz sand and calcite. Calcite, I think, is mostly finished. And there's 26. Wait, I had calcite. Crushed. Impure, there was impure, then I made it pure. Where is it? Lost my calcite. I built a cauldron for that. Where is it? I washed the thing. Where is it? No, there isn't anything. Strange. I think I had it somewhere lying around. I swear to God I had it. What's up, larvae? How are you doing today? That's the stupidest thing ever about GTNH is that there are two recipes of turning bricks into dusts, and one recipe is macerator, which takes us about 40 seconds to get small pile of brick dust from a brick. And then there's a forge hammer recipe that does the same thing in about 10 ticks, or about 20 ticks, which is 1 second. And it's so imbalanced to even give me that alternative. Like, they should probably redo this one day. I think it's not really fair to the good old macerator to be left alone like that. Oh, I did the wrong thing. Tried to compress. So bear with me here. It's very important. If you put a brick in a macerator, of steam level, it takes 40 seconds to turn one brick into a small pile of brick dust. But if you first put 4 bricks into a compressor and make it a brick block, and then you put the brick block in the macerator, it takes about a second to turn a brick block into a full pile of brick dust. How is that even real? Fun fact, you can get infinite clay via macerator and alloy smelter. I do not believe that's true, because if it was, people would have already told me that. Because I've been spending all my $1 million on getting clay. Why would I not know about this exploit in the first place? Why would it not be fixed? Oh wait, I shouldn't have done that. So what are we buying? We're buying stone dust. Okay. Larvae, how does that work? You have to tell me that, man. I'll try to look through it myself. So clay dust, you said macerator and steam alloy smelter. Okay, clay dust. Oh, then okay, then it's not my kind of thing anyway. I'm actually positive that today we're going to have our BBF build. I think in about 2 hours maximum. That's just what I see, you know. And when I see things, they're true, I think. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Hey. Unless something wrong happens to my farm. Yeah, the farm looking good, but those Ender men don't look really good. I'm fine with it. Well, I did not know that it's gonna be just close enough for me to still get the XP orbs even from here. They're still like dropping and falling to their death, so I can just do my stuff here, go pick it up, and then never even think about AFKing there because this distance is enough, surely. So it's like I finally was able to guess the perfect distance, which is 3 chunks away from my main hub. Let's go ahead and forge hammer all those bricks. I think that's the most effective. Actually, maybe not. I think that's more effective to compress them first. Yes, it takes less energy. I mean, steam. I mean, there's a calcite crime that happened, and I'm trying to investigate the thing. I had some calcite, and I crushed some of it, and I remember putting that in a forge hammer, I think, to turn it into an impure pile of calcite, and then make it a calcite. But I don't know where this ore is, where the dust is. I should probably set up more furnaces now that I have cobblestone lying around somewhere. Yeah, I think I could get some more furnaces. I'm thinking about adding 4 more. I don't really like MC term. Hi, thank you for for coming in today and seeing me progress. It's really, yeah, it's been great, but most of it is just, I don't know, it's super tough to get any further than that. I'm trying to build my first BBF for steel cooking, and honestly it looks great and I think I'll be able to do it today, but there's some issues anyway that I have to deal with. Like my thumb not working properly, and some other drawbacks, which is basically the main theme of this game. This is one huge drawback written all over this world that I have. Yeah, normal day in GOG, yes, that's true. I think I'm starting to get a bit desensitized toward all the bullshit that's happening. But you know, sometimes the game sort of lets up a bit and makes you feel like you got it, you finally got it, and then it smacks you back, you know, like, nah man, sit down. Like that kind of thing. Gives you hope and then rock pulls it away from you, out from you, you know? Yeah. It works almost like life, I think. Never lets you experience happiness. Even if it does, it's gonna cancel all that in just about a few days or minutes or seconds. Depends on the situation. I mean, in GOG or in GregTech in general, whenever you build something cool and you finally think, wow, now I can do that, it gives you a breath of fresh air, but at the same time you start thinking about all the next goals you're going to achieve, and then like, wow, I should have probably stayed at my dirt age. Yeah, I have to be positive. Yes, PMA, right? Positive mental attitude. Sometimes I have a hard time doing that. When bad things happen, I don't usually try to stay positive. I just like to shut up and do the thing instead, you know? Because I'm not really a firm believer in PMA. Of course, if positive thinking makes you do things, then it's fine. But for some people, you can still think negatively, like, I'm bad, the game is bad, everything's bad, and still do the thing. Because you want to beat that badness. Then it's fine. Positive mental attitude is not going to work for you. You can just be all negative about it, and if you're still doing the thing, because you want to beat it, then you're good. That's my understanding of it. I think that's how I do it. Especially when I was building and rebuilding farms, I had a lot of ups and downs. I wasn't really expressive about it, and I'm not the kind of guy to scream into the camera or into the mic, but still, it was really frustrating. You could probably feel that when the guys that watched me play it and see that mobs scattered around the base and just destroyed everything when my farm started to burn. That was really... Yes, that's true, yeah. So I might say a few bad words, but in the end, I have progress in my head, and that's just what I'm doing. For example, yesterday I was thinking that I was going to be building that BBF for the whole week, you know, 12 hours straight, but now I'm thinking that I'll be able to finish it today. And if that somehow turns out to be not true, then of course I'll feel bad and exhausted all of a sudden. Whenever you realize something, like you can't achieve something that you wish you could achieve, then for some reason I start feeling like very fatigued, you know? I don't know if it's just me, but the energy levels, they drop significantly and at a very fast rate once I realize that something is not achievable at a foreseeable future, you know, like how I felt it. So I'm not going to buy quartz sand with XP buckets, because that's a hoax recipe. I would rather just crush some gravel into sand and then macerate it. It's a lot better. Though I still hear explosions in this farm, which means that some of those can be really fatal. It's just that I'm getting lucky with it. No amount of XP berries would have given me this amount of levels, you know. I would have spent months trying to grow it into the same amount of XP buckets per minute, you know. That wouldn't have been possible. I'm glad I destroyed the previous farm and built this one instead of altogether forgetting about the farm and just relying solely on crops, because that would have been so much harder for me to do anything. So now I guess onto the quartz sand. I don't know what to spend the... Let's just get copper, I think. Right? Spent all the buckets I have and get some copper. So, quartz sand. First of all, since we require 32, let's get that 32 gravel. Place it on the ground, I think. That's the... Oh, we could probably just use the forge hammer as well. Works well, but... although a bit pricey, I would say. And we're not forgetting about putting those bricks in here to compress them. Crops, bees, and thumb. Yes, that's true. I didn't start bees yet because... I don't know. I'm not there yet mentally. I will be though, once I get the... once I get the simmering comb, and we'll start my journey on some finishing the steam age, you know, that kind of thing, and then I'll start bees. But now I can't even think about it. Primary resource creation. Well, the most primary I would say that that I rely on is, of course, this mob farm of mine. I had many iterations of that happening throughout my run. You could have probably seen me with at least 4 different, or maybe even 5 different designs. But overall, it's the best resource creation ever. I mean, since iron is the most, like, the biggest resource you need in this game, I can get that from this farm by mobs dropping chest plates and stuff, which I can then macerate into iron. Precarious high. We are not rich, but today we're feeling kind of positive that we'll be able to get the BBF going. I'm working really hard on crafting that. I think in 2 hours it's going to be done. That's my it's my forecast, you know. So Precarious, you coming here and asking me every time that we're surely rich. I bet that one day you're gonna get here and actually, unjokingly, like without a joke, realize that I'm actually rich. Like, well, the dude's actually rich. I can't joke about it anymore. That kind of situation. I mean, maybe you're not joking. I don't know. It's just maybe my brain is speaking this way. Yeah. Whenever you, it's like we just talked about it. Whenever you feel good about achieving something, you finally feel rich. In your case, it's about a few minutes before you realize that you're actually poor, very, very like dirt poor for the next thing. Yeah, I think that's what you're talking about. Okay, sand. It's 20 seconds in macerator. I would rather use my mortar. Okay, quartz sand done. Calcite is left, and then I can build 32 buckets of concrete. No biggie. Okay. Let's just prepare everything for now. We've got this. We also need clay dust in the amount of 32. Done. Plus 32 water buckets, no problem. Calcite 46. That is not a problem as well, but I think instead of macerating all this, I could just probably go ahead and break it with my pickaxe. That's gonna give me that, which I can then... Oh wait, still need to do something about it. That's the same thing as with the ore block, isn't it? Yeah, it didn't change anything for me. I could go ahead and not worry about that just by forge hammering the ore. It's going to be really fast and effective, and ineffective because it's not giving us 2 ores, but instead 1. This maceration gives 2, and forge hammering gives 1. And since I had 46 at the beginning of that, it's anyway exactly what we need, and not more and not less. So I think in order to save up on time, and since I already crushed some of it, I'm gonna have some of that ore as an overflow, you know? Over 64. Over the amount of 64. $34, that's how much we need. How many calcite ore blocks we need. That was really expensive. I think I should wait on the small coil boiler to sort of fill up first. And we're not even halfway through with brick dust. Okay, now we stop. Because I'm getting too greedy with it. I think it's gonna shut down soon if I continue doing it like this. But we need like, what? About 6 more. Close. Should we go ahead and just finish that? Can we do it like this? Of course we can't. Okay, good. Now this is going to be I could probably go ahead and hammer that. I think. Yeah. I'm very greedy. I'm not waiting on some steam and just doing everything manually, which is faster but very, very inefficient, I would say. So in this one, we just bathe in some fresh cold drum water. Alright, so I think we're done with concrete. This concrete. I think we'll be crafting the concrete with everything, just because I don't really have the 32 buckets, and I will have to do that recipe on the go. And let's talk about gypsum though. 64 gypsum dust. Do we have like a quest for that as well? Or only for calcite, I think. Yeah, gypsum is going to have to be coming from XP buckets. It requires 2. It's a bit expensive. It's very expensive, actually. Wow. But I'm fine with it. By the time I get all my bricks crushed, I think this is where we'll have our gypsum. Quorum's high. Glad to see you. Naquarite. What is that? Is that some... Is this a GTNH thing? I know Naquarite. Naquarite is something different. Count is so high. Oh yeah, no, I thought it was like netherite, no? Netherite line? What is a netherite line then? I thought like a netherite is a new material in 2.8. Guess I was wrong. How many steps does it have? Talking about the what's it called? Kevlar line, yeah. If you're not going with bees, then I think nothing beats Kevlar line ever. It's the worst there is. Really? And you are obliged to do all of that? Well, well, shit. Cubic zirconia. Yeah, remember that. I think that's one of those materials you have to get the crystals by doing something in a EBF, I think. There's like a super hidden recipe that you can't really find at first just by looking through recipes. You have to sort of, it's the same thing as with Orundum plate, right? That you have to go to into a bending machine tab, the next mode for the bending machine, I forgot the second mode that the bending machine does, and then there's like a recipe for a Rundum plate. This is a red plate. Yeah, stellar alloy that I remember as well. Well, I think by ZPM you have LG Pond anyway, no? Because you sort of it used to be used in a production of ammonia, I think. The little weeds from the LG Pond. Oh, I understand now. Oh, I used to have like a stack of algae ponds, and they would constantly feed my chem reactors and electrolyzers to get ammonia. Oh no, it wasn't any of those machines. It was neither of those machines. It was like a assembly machine. So now Botania is required and to beat the back, right? Because before that, you sort of needed to progress there, but I first touched Botania when I was physically able to kill the last boss. It was close to late game, I think. About UHV. I think at the very least that's where I started my Botania run, because I needed the bees, the hibiscus from to feed my industrial Apirius with the pristine princesses, you know. That's where I started my Botania. And I remember trying to beat that boss, and it was quite hard because for some reason. Oh, Ring of Far Reach. I used Ring of Loki before because I didn't have the matter manipulator, and people do have this now, so Ring of Loki is now obsolete, I think. Is matter manipulator ZPM tier? Is there like different levels? And the last one is like Factorio type blueprinting machine. Oh. I hope that 2.8 doesn't break GOG, and I'll be able to play with all the toys. Well, it's pretty optimistic for me to say that I'll be having any kind of electricity in a month here. But I'm getting closer anyway. It's like at a snail's pace, but I'm still doing it. So is there any other way of getting gypsum? I hate this that they didn't fix proven frame or any frame at this point, the stacking of frames. I don't like that they didn't fix that yet. It's like whenever I have like a stack of proven frames, see that? Whenever I pick the stack up and I put it down, and if I for some reason decide to divide those things, now I can't really stack them back. It's like this NFT data or NBT data changes. It lets you store so many more. How come if I can't stack them? What? It's not letting me store so many more. Or are you joking again? Can tell that. But you get them in a stacked way, thus Thus, it's possible to stack them. Come on. Oh no. Shouldn't have fallen. Oh, yeah, internet is a fun thing. Whenever I stream, I fear that my internet blinks out. Yeah, Starlink is crazy. I played GTA 5, and there was a dude that talked to me via microphone, and he said that he's like sold his house or something, and now is traveling all around Europe, I think, in a van of sorts. And I was like, how the hell are you playing the game right now? Because online games require like stable internet connection and stuff. And he said, I'm using Starlink. And I was like, what? How can that kind of wavelength thing can give you? What I'm talking about is when you're using like internet cables like Ethernet, yes, you sort of know that this is just like a wire that the information is coming through and going through. But with all the Wi-Fi type thing and Starlink too, man. So the Starlink to me, I'm wondering how they did that it works. And what kind of radiation goes through your body when you're close to this thing? Because, I mean, it's gotta be some hefty amount. Precarious, check if you've got some tail growing, just in case. It's low power. Did you have to buy like some kind of device that sort of accepts the Starlink waves? No, because this guy told me that he had to buy a thing for it. Okay. So you're saying you're like getting your internet from space, literally? Is that what it is? Like somebody built basically a space elevator and put a little box in space, and now you're getting your internet. And if we're talking about ping, in different online games, there's like different ping. So when you're playing on servers that are close to you, you get less ping, and if you're playing in servers that are far away from you, you get more ping. And that's what I was going to ask. If you're Starlinked, does it give you like does the game understand that you're close or far away from the servers? How does it understand where you are? Like, what is your placement? Where are you at the moment as far as the internet goes? Are you like in the same place you are, or does it send you somewhere else like VPN does? How does it work? I'm like trying to form a question and I can't really understand. So there's like huge ping, which means you're basically all over the world with this Starlink, right? Silicon line, I remember that. There's a recipe in a silicon line that everybody wants to try, but is a total bullshit, I think. It's the one that has all types of silicon at the same time, and then you have to sort of count or figure out the exact ratio of the recipe to sort of like cycle it up. I wasn't able to do that. I mean, I hope people understand what I'm talking about right now. There's this like silicon recipe that breaks into trioxide, dioxide, I think. Silicon. I just don't remember the names. Silicon. Silicon. Raw silicon dust. And to do that, you must use silicon dioxide, right? And you get that from... No, I don't remember. Yeah, tetrachloride. So this is the recipe I'm talking about. In a large chemical reactor, you can turn 30 buckets of hydrochloric acid and 10 raw silicon into like all the types of silicon, which it's silane, I think. Hexachloride silane. Yeah. I tried to work with the recipe because essentially it's the best one because it's not losing any kind of silane ever, so you can just turn everything into very useful items. But at the same time, you have to count the exact ratio, and I tried to, and I failed. So Corms, you're saying that this recipe definitely has like a rounds up in itself, right? So if you add like what 3 or 4 or 5 more cycles, it sort of really. So and it doesn't do any kind of overflowing on any of the outputs. Nothing. Because I was thinking that since there's like 300L, 300L, 200L, I think I was like starting to think that I have to count it like to round numbers, like at least 10 of each in order to somehow be able to work with the buckets or something. But since you're saying you don't need to do the ratio. Oh, well, you probably used, you're saying mainnet, you probably used AE2, right? And I was trying to cycle the system in itself, without like infinite type of storage, yes, where I would just infinitely store some overflow output and sometimes would just siphon it back to the main net. You know, I didn't want to do that. I wanted to cycle it up in itself so that it never has any unneeded byproducts or anything. So I decided not to use this Circuit 9 recipe and just went with the, I don't remember, I think tetrachloride through chlorine and then back into silicon solar grade. Oh, actually, I don't even know if Larry talked about this recipe because this one is for silicon solar grade and he just said silicon. Maybe that's not what he meant. And I started this whole thing speaking about, yeah, sorry, Larry. I was like, I remember building that silicon lane because, polysilicon because I needed that for solar panels. And I remember building that and dealing with it. Just the GregTech solar panels, they need the stacked versions of like plated silicon, polysilicon. Yeah, I think you need it anyway. I imagine I did that. I remember after I played some Skyblock version of Nami Factory, I was like trying to think in a very idealistic way of like, I really want to get my resources passive. I don't want to go and mine things. And I went with bees very early. I didn't even know how to breed them or anything, but once I figured that out, I remember I was in LV still, or maybe MV maximum, and I would see, and I would do like rounds around my huge bee farm, and I would pick up all the combs, and then I would somehow work through hundreds of buckets of hydrochloric acid to turn those combs into prospective resources. That was my main thing, you know? Yeah, so some people actually are that crazy to do that. I mean, you can't say no to them. Also, remember in my run, I researched early on. I mean, I looked it up on the internet that you have to have like an Oblivion frame to spit everything up by a ton. And I was thinking on how to get that Oblivion frame, and eventually I realized that they are spawned in a chest in what's that, like with the Ender portal, that fortification, whatever that's called, citadel. What do you call it? What do you call this thing? Anyway, this room with cells and everything that has like an Ender portal. So I wanted to go there, but I couldn't find the thing, and I had to breed lots of villagers to get that one villager that sells me Ender Eye. And I think I wasn't even able to find that, so I had to log into my world in a creative. Like, I duplicated my world and went into creative and flew around with an Ender Eye until I found the whereabouts of that one end portal in that one chest with Oblivion frames, and I logged back into my world and I went there. So that was a little bit of cheaty for me. But at the same time, I was really glad that I could get an Oblivion frame in about a an LV, I think. LV tier, and that really sped things up for me. I was able to do so much with it. But I think maybe I'm lying to you guys, because super smart people could have probably figured out that in no way I could have been in LV because I don't get the Thermic Restorer that early, but maybe I can. I don't remember the tier at which I get my Thermic Restorer, so if it's not LV, then I'm lying to you. But if it's LV, because I remember I used my Oblivion frames with in tandem with this Oblivion, or with this Thermic Restorer or something, the one that fixes item by using Instrumentum aspect. So yeah, then I was at MV tier, not LV. But that definitely sped things up for me once I got that Oblivion frame going. And now I know there's a better frame for that. I don't think it's the same tier though, but the thing is called something about Blob Magic, the fiery one. Maddening Frame of Frenzy. Uses 1000 LP per cycle. It's dirt cheap. But you need to progress in Blood Magic quite a lot, I think. Enchanted Fabric. Yeah. Well, I don't know if it's tier 1 altar because it requires you to have imbued slates, which are tier 3. Crafting recipe of Altar of Gregorius's Tea's Blood. Poor Greg. Yeah, I'm looking at the recipe right now. It says tier 3, but I don't know if it's the tier of item or the tier of the altar. Tier 3 altar. Oh, guys, did any of you ever get the 6th tier of the altar? That's like the hugest hemorrhoids kind of pain in the ass. Getting the 6th tier with, what was those things called? Like, Icorium blocks that you had to build on top of those pillars. Or you had to build the pillars out of those things. And I remember looking at the recipe of Icorium ingot, which was like 200,000. What's it called? This purple liquid. UU matter, I think. And I was like, yeah, no way I'm doing that recipe. So I went back. I did the whole thumb up until the Icorium tier, which was crazy. A lot of progression again, a lot of sidetracking. It took me about a week to get there. And I was finally able to build the 6th altar. I don't think any of you went there. Well, maybe you did. I don't know. It's close to late game as well. Yeah, and the soul shards again. That's very funny with the soul shards. Do you know they have to go to like Moon or some other dimensions to invoke that convocation of damned? I think that thing is called. And it's really interesting how the how this village of demons sort of sprawls into many directions and starts to be a thing. It's interesting to see. I never automated blood magic. I don't know if you call a few translocators automation or whatever you call these things that can drop items between the. So I did have some automation, but it was pretty low type of automation. But man, now that I'm the altar itself, yeah, I used to have like a drawer on top of the altar, and it would spit the items into the altar, and there was like an ender conduit going from it that would take all the items away from it with a filter set up so that if you need to cycle up a few items many tiers up, like slates, yes, so you can just set up filters so that it never spits out a slate that you don't need to spit out, so it sort of waits on its own, like cycles up in itself until you get the third or the fourth tier of the slates, and then it spits it out according to the filter. That's the kind of automation I had. Crafts with A2, no, I didn't have that. I used it manually, and honestly, it served me the entire game, and now I don't even need... in my previous run, I was in a UMV, and I didn't even need the Blood Altar again, ever. So automation, it wasn't required for me. Now that I'm in GOG, I'll probably need to automate the thing, because what? Because I'll need to have meteors before the Void Miner. I had a single altar. Also, I had like EEC, Extreme Extermination Chamber, lower, beneath this altar, and it had like a ritual on top of that, and then I also did the thing called compacting the ritual, so put it in one block. It was kind of fun, and that's basically infinite blood. So what do we have? We have 90, 92. 4 more to go. 1 more to go. Yes, I do have it. Good. Now I can just do that. Man, I hate that I'm talking about all this while I'm still in Steam Age. I really want to go further. I want to do this Starlink bullshit, you know? I don't want to deal with bricks. Oh, what am I doing? Wait. Oh my god, I'm so stupid. I'm an idiot. I shouldn't have done that. Wow. But that's okay. 2 hours of bricks, yeah. Plus 20... No. I mean, it's still... in parallel with me getting gypsum, so until I get the gypsum, there's no need to rush. So I can do this recipe with bricks 2 times all over, and that would still be, I would still have some spare time left. So no problem here. I'm just gonna do that. Turn that back into. I had to use the steam macerator. Oh my god, that's embarrassing. One of the things that you don't realize about streamers. Those of you guys who stream, you know what I'm talking about, is that there are many people I have a problem with, I guess. Sort of, it's the ones that play the game in a very smart way, that are very efficient about everything. There are some viewers like that on my stream as well. Sometimes they come by and give me some help, and I really appreciate the help. But sometimes I can't figure out, like, do they have any flaws in their own gameplay? Like, I think they do. I think they F up so many times that they don't want to speak about it, because, you know. And so there was this conversation about some streamers and YouTubers, and everybody praised, of course, the average GregTech player that I already talked about. But some other dudes that played the game like a humanly in a human way. Yeah, well, the thing is that you're saying Basil's gonna hate my gameplay. What am I, an average GregTech player that builds a Stargate in 3 months? No, I'm a dude that forgets how to put bricks into a macerator and prolongs his crafting chain for 20 minutes. I'm the guy that fails every time, and I'm the guy that has problem with people that mock those that fail, you know? Dude, I played with solar panels, whereas other people that progressed at the same time, like simultaneously with me, they progressed 3 times as fast because they didn't rely on solar panels. And I went there and I crafted every solar panel batch crafted it, and then it set it up, and I had 64 solar panels of each tier, and I almost used like 2 to 3 to 4 amps of the corresponding tier. So if I was on in Ivy, I would have like 4 amps of Ivy, and that was my all energy I had. Yeah, guys, you understand what I'm talking about. So, and I mean, this game is not meant to be played perfectly. There are so many things that you have to think about, that you have to plan. And even though I immensely respect people that do it in the most efficient way, I still think that there's some charm in like in running around not knowing what you do and just spending like 6 hours a day on some bullshit like looking at bricks like I do. Yes, I did the Dragon Egg power in EV, I think, and it was like one of the main sources of power until I got better solar panels. I think I'm going to do it this run as well, if they don't break anything with when introducing a new version. Oh, you're saying you used Essentia power generator to generate power. Is that true? Is this what I'm thinking about? Is this what you're thinking about? Is this what you're talking about? So you're saying that some Essentia bullshit carried you to Compact 2 in terms of power gen? I never knew it could be that strong. Oh, Dragon Eggs. Precarious, I gotta ask you a question about FPS though. I had like 16 and I knew that the particles that were emitting from these Dragon Eggs, the purple ones I think, I remember them causing some FPS problems for me, and I had 16 Dragon Eggs. It was fine. Yeah, I remember I sort of closed. Yeah, TPS. I sort of closed those things so that I wouldn't see the particles, and that kind of saved my FPS. But I was thinking that in no way this was a good thing to do, and you were the guy that went with it. There's always a dude that did something you were afraid of. I was afraid of using Dragon Eggs on larger scale, and there's this Precarious that just went with it and had fun with it until Compact 2. What? I cannot believe that actually. Wait. It just hit my brain. Compact 2. You were using Dragon Eggs from an EV tier power gen up until a Compact 2. No, wait. I mean, even if the maths, it still is. It's beyond my understanding. It's like if I were to tell you that I used 60,000 solar boilers. Would you believe me? I mean, there's probably more than 60,000 to match your energy. Precarious, you are the devil of this game. And then I just talked about the efficiency in people that play the game efficiently. Have you streamed that, Precarious? Because that would be so fun to watch. Solars with you won't surprise me with Solars. I went with Solars myself up until the Supercritical myself, and then after Supercritical I went back to Solars, and then I did the Dyson. So, but at some point I also switched to Neckline before Dyson because it was the only viable option for me. I think this round we're going to go with Solars again. Well, I'll think about it. Steam Solars. I'm probably gonna kick the bucket now. Steam Solars. I mean, I can't believe just spamming low energy machines to get high energy, but if it breaks your TPS or FPS, then I cannot believe in a million of those things. It's like, you know, it's like we're telling tales, though, especially you. It's like there's this lore of GTNH, and there are different kind of creatures, you know, like from a Witcher lore or some other lore, and like this creature does that. This is like, maybe we've been talking about, I don't know if you're familiar. I'm not really familiar with the thing, but I know there's like SCP kind of thing. I don't know what that is. It's basically like a lore where there are many different creatures that are locked in cages, and some of them are being analyzed or something, and some creatures can, you know, read minds, other creatures can jump very high, and such things. And here we are sitting and talking about GTNH players, basically the most perverted versions of them, and they're like SCP, what's it called, like species number 1. Species number 333 this one decided to build a UHV amp of energy with just solar boilers. And everybody goes like, oh my god, lock him up, he's so sick. So society is afraid of different kinds of maniacs and stuff, like terrorists or whatever. I'm afraid of those Greg players that attempt such things. And you, Precarious, as well, with all your dragon eggs. Yeah, you wouldn't have built them otherwise. I understand that. But there's just a little problem with the amount of those things, you know? I can say I like solar boilers a lot because they're a no-brainer. Yes, they do scale, and you have to descale them by breaking them. Oh, that's another problem about this guy. He's such a mad creature. This guy that tried to build a UHV amp with solar boilers. Is that you have to account for... Oh, I think he went with distilled water, right? Because if you use distilled water, then you don't really have to descale the solar boilers. Is that true? I think that's what it did. So he also spent millions of distilled water on that. Well, I believe by UHV tier, it's not really an issue to have that. So we're sitting at 43 gypsum dust. As soon as we have 64, we're good to go with our first BF. We're building our first BF. It's going to happen in about half an hour, I think. should probably stand here and kill the mobs with our hands because it gives more experience. We need about 21 more buckets. Oh, ectoplasm. Please give me that. I really need that. Two ectoplasm, very good. It's so good that my farm also has ways of killing slimes. I mean the flying slimes, the ones that give ectoplasm. Just that I'm afraid that something bad is gonna happen now. Because there's a witch throwing shit around. I need to block the pathway. Yeah, it happens only because most of the time I keep my golden spikes not covered with water, and whatever mobs that fall through the shaft, they are killed almost instantly because they get receive full damage. Blowing up happens whenever there's like 6 or 9 or even 10 mobs around. And they start fighting each other because they don't have space to live. And that might happen. I already said that I read about a thing from very experienced GOG players, and they say that no setup is 100% fail-proof, you know? You will always have some bullshit going on. And I was really frustrated by the fact that I was constantly getting my farms blown, but that was just part of the process, I think. And now that I have this one, it's sort of stable at this very moment. But I'm not having any illusions toward it being completely, what's it called, like infallible. I think it's going to fail one time, or at least 2 times maybe. Yeah, this one is smaller and it's like stacked. I have 2 floors, so in terms of width, it's about 50%. I mean, in terms of spawning blocks, it's about not like 50, maybe 30% less than what I had. But it's very, it's not cluttery because mobs, whenever they spawn, they fall instantly, and that creates this kind of like natural flow of them. I don't know what to do with the berries. People say plant them, but I already collected like 48 of them. Should I go and plant some more crops? I think I should. Even though this farm is smaller, it still gives me the same amount of experience, even more maybe. And this one also kills spiders. And spiders can also be thumb mobs, which means they give a lot of experience. The biggest problem I have is the crop sticks. They're just extremely expensive. By saying it sticks to a chest, what does it? How does it help you with what? What does it help you with? Isn't it the same thing as hollow glasses that allows you to see everything in a chest? A E2 terminal that sticks to a chest. It's a combined crafting terminal storage bus that doesn't use power. Oh, so basically you can store a lot of things in your chest, and then you can craft inside it. Spruce? Why would I need spruce? Oh, maybe. Maybe I can have spruce, but just don't think that I should think about that at the moment. .96 clay dust. Do we just mix it? And I got 94. Precarious, can you imagine that? Can you imagine I went up until UMV tier and I never used universal automation? Can you imagine that bullshit? I just looked at a guide. I thought about trying to replicate that, but then I saw all the things I needed to do, and it was like, no, I'm not gonna do that. Compressor. Oh my god, it's so slow. I like how I was thinking that I'll be waiting on that gypsum forever because it's XP buckets, but at the same time, it turned out that there needs to be so much crafting that by the time I get the gypsum, I will have already finished all the other things, so it's sort of like all lined up. And maybe even not so much lined up, because there's this feeling, I have this feeling that I will be waiting on the compressed fire clay bricks to be crafted first. You still mean that, still talking about that, terminal on a chest? Mm-hmm. Alright, I guess it's time to plant some crops. FYI, I don't find it to be effective at all. XP berries. It's just stupidly slow. There's nothing slower than them. Also the fact that they damage me. Means that I have to use a special layout like this, which is really ineffective when it comes to space. Right, we need the wood slabs. Oh my god. Just deleted 2 berries. Whatever. Karis, what mod pack are you talking about? Isn't it like with something with twist? No. Great Tech Odyssey. Is it somehow connected to the movie Odyssey that comes out in about a year? The one that Nolan does? I mean, Nolan. Yeah, you talked about it yesterday, I remember. What can I say? This mod pack seems to be with a twist to it. A wink wink. Why'd you boo me? It was a good joke. So they deleted all the OP stuff? By Greggy, you mean overly complicated? To the point where it becomes unfun? Yeah. Dude, just play GOG. That's all you need, you know. There's all the annoyance that there's all the other words that come with Greg Tech, but not that it's like amplified or something, but there's definitely a ring to it, you know. You don't get the twist multis or anything. It's the same Greg Tech, but it's just you're so constrained with everything, you know. Oh no, I wouldn't play the pack that has wireless power this early. I wouldn't even look at the direction of this pack. You scared me off now. Even if I wanted to check it out, knowing that there's wireless power this early in the tier, this as early as LV. Nah, man. Tesla. I never built Tesla, but I believe it. Let me see. So the Tesla coil itself is built with HV circuits. If that says something. Tesla Tower. It doesn't have a quest. I can't say what tier that is. It doesn't have a quest. I mean, from the looks of it, it's titanium rods. It's Electrum. I think it's about EV/high V. Well, the controller itself is built with HV tier circuits, but you need titanium also, so I think it's early IV, early EV. But who uses that? I mean, for me, the earlier wireless power is probably, I mean, the other power, you know, the rainbowy looking things, hatches. Well, apparently I'm not a lot of people. Yeah, and you have like a gap where you have to wait for some time until you can use true wireless power, which is, we all know, like wireless energy hatches and stuff. So what do you do when you're at UV level? Do you just jerk off or something? Because your Tesla is not working and you don't have anything else. Of course, I'm talking about this strictly classic setup in GTNH. Nothing fancy about twist or anything. This lack of options, this lack of alternative when it comes to Tesla is actually gave me a thought earlier in my previous run that how obnoxiously expensive are we talking? Are we talking about, you're saying LVS? Are we talking about like 1,000 circuits, LV circuits? Or are we talking about maybe like 4,000 steel ingots? Because I still think it's free. It's just to get my base running off of that wireless power in LV. How expensive are we talking? You know, sometimes expensiveness depends on the amount of time you wait, and sometimes... Oh, sensors. Because sometimes it's just waiting, and other times it's basically actually crafting stuff. Okay. For example, right now, BBF is not really expensive for me because I just have to wait for that to happen. But let's say getting a tool forge is really expensive for me because I can't even get the items I need, like the simmering comb. So it's when you look into the prospects of getting an item, and you know that to get it you need like some random to happen, then it can be really expensive because you never know the real price. You never know how many villages you're gonna breed in order to get that simmering comb trade. Yeah. Well, HV is still very early for wireless power. And yeah, I'm not talking about Tesla. I never used it, so to me it's useless. Even though it's cheap, I don't quite understand the meaning behind that. Yes, that's what I'm talking about. You have to do some wiring in UV anyway because Tesla stops scaling after ZPM, as you said it yourself. You kind of want consistency in that regard, and if you can't have that, then you don't build it. So I never built it. All those reasons you had. What scares me is that in my run is that I have to build at least 3 more BBFs, I think. It scares me because I've spent so much time getting this one done. Active transformers are ZPM quest tab. End of it, as far as I know. Oh, well, actually, I'm lying. It's not the end of it. It's you get the tier 7 machine hulls, and you can start with the high power casings and stuff, computer vents. This is where you get your active transformer. It requires superconducting coil block, which is basically LUV wires. Okay. Yes, yes. So you start building these active transformers, ZPM, and then you go to UV, and there you have to. Where is it? Oh, it's not even a quest. Laser vacuum pipe, asmiridium foil, reinforced glass plus optic fiber. Well, I can't see why you need UV tier for lasers to work. The recipe is indeed UV, but it's the, oh, you mean the assembler, right? You can't unless you get this bad boy, because this one definitely can do the, what's it called, like when you add up 2 amps and it becomes a new amp of the next tier. OCing the thing. So you can OC this large scale auto assembler. I don't quite know if it's pre UV. If it is, then you can probably get your lasers at ZPM. You can run it at ZPM, I think, but it's a lot of pain in the ass. I mean, 90% of players would have done it in UV tier. They wouldn't have done the large assembler craft anyway. So I think you're right here, Forms, that it's UV tier. Oh yeah, one thing I wanted to ask you guys, if you knew it, maybe if you know, maybe you know it. I think Corms understands that. Is how do I enchant my items beyond 5, level 5 of enchantment? I know that there is a way, but could you point me toward a block that does it? Maybe there's some like super enchanting table or something. Because I think I will really need to exploit that with all the spikes and enchantress ritual from blood magic. And here I am trying to type it in an NEI conf thing. Over enchanter. Okay, so I'll know it is from blood magic. Thank you. Well, if it's the earliest I can do it in EV, then maybe I could have probably just built the ESC, right? And forget about manual farms like this. So now we're left with waiting for some fire clay dust to turn into the compressed fire clay, and then we put it in a furnace, and then basically our BBF is done. Wow, what? For some reason 9 people are watching me. Thank you guys all for sitting through this with me. I know it's not fun, especially that I'm a bit sick, but it is what it is. And we're successfully, it is what it ising it. I wish there was like a silver recipe thermal XP bucket. That'd be very handy. Well, Solarius, my advice if you need like only HV power. Yeah, if you need just HV, then just do double NV hatch. But if you need EV, then you have to do 2 HVs, right? It depends on what amp you need. Oh, there's actually a small pile of silver dust. Even though it's bought with 8 XP buckets. Oh my god. And 4 of that means 1 ingot, so I could probably scale it and have a lot of steam boilers running. I think that's one of our projects as well. I think I'll start using this recipe from now on. Also, we should think about getting more iron with the XP buckets. Oh, I hate recursive crafts. Almost done, yeah. As soon as the 35 fire clay dust is compressed, then and then they are being furnaced, fired in a furnace, whatever you call it, like cooked, I think. then it's going to be a BBF time. So about the recursive things, the worst recursive craft that I had in this game was oh, I think those are called capacitors, no? Oh no, backpacks, I think those were called. You start with oh no, it's not a bat. It wasn't a backpack. What was that? Like jetpacky looking things that store energy inside them, and they are all up until the max tier, I think. What are those called? What do you call those things? That's not a capacitor. It's... Energy pack, right? Something about energy. Yeah, those are the recursive crafts as far as it. Yeah, that's the worst thing ever. Energy core, ULV. The next tier needs 4 LV energy cores, then 4 MV energy cores, and you get up until UHV. And each piece of that bullshit needs some kind of like other items like Piconium 64B. That's like the worst material ever. You need so much to get it. The power usage, you use 4x more power per 2x speed, as far as I know. So 4 times power to 2 times speed, that's the correlation as far as I remember. But it's not everywhere. There's some overclocking mechanisms that allow you to get 2 times fast using 2 times as more energy. But I don't know, maybe I'm wrong about this. But as far as with the classical distribution, it's usually 4 times the 4 times usage. Oh yeah, perfect OC, yeah, 4x fast, 4x power, that's what I was talking about, yes. But you can't reach perfect overclock in LCRs as far as I remember. I mean, you can only do that in EBFs and stuff. Mega EBF, maybe. By subticking, you mean that they still get 1 tick, but they start to batch more items per tick, right? Is that the subtick we're talking? Precarious? I don't know why these people call it subtick. It's still a tick. It's just that the items get batched up together, you know? You can never go beyond 1 tick, because the game does not operate this way. Sorry if I'm getting smart about this, but I just never understood the reference of subtick. If it's not subtick, it's still a tick. Effectively speaking, yes, it's like it gets beyond 1 tick, lower than that, but in terms of in terms of mechanics there, it's still tick. All of a sudden I got the Blood Moon going. It's interesting. It's probably one of the only, like, only had like 1 Blood Moon in this world. Maybe 2, but not more than that. Oh, Solaris, be careful. You might not have enough. I mean, I don't know your power gen, but just make sure that it's enough, and that you won't strain your system too much. Yeah, that's true. No problem. I wish I could help that like that all the time, because most of the time I just don't remember the things I'm going to talk about, and I'm just like blabbering about random thoughts that I have about this and that, as was with the Larvis question about Silicon. I mean, it wasn't his question. He just said that it was doing Silicon Line, and I like started blabbering about polysilicon or something, which is totally different line. can't look at this Blood Moon bullshit. I hate the fact that I'm going to be building my BBF during Blood Moon, because I'm close to doing one, to finally getting it. Guys, have you ever had such an experience in Greg Tech when you aspire toward building some kind of like a multi-block or something, knowing that it's gonna help you immensely in your run, and at one point, almost finishing building that machine, you realize that there's this one last detail like this last part that is like next tier, and you can't really get it. Have you ever had that experience? Yeah, that you can't craft. Yes. I remember I had a few moments like that where I would spend immense amount of time building something, and then I would look at one of the, for example, let's talk about Dyson thing. You have this huge, super huge list of items that you need to build, and I'm just doing it as an example. It's not really Dyson Swarm that I have problems with. So, and you like go one by one item and try to researching it all, what it needs to be to do, and then you kind of forget to look at the Dyson Swarm, for example, module deployment unit based casing, and you realize that you need, I don't know, like UMV circuits for that, and you know that you can get those, and you're like, man, that's crazy. Or one of the liquids here, for example, dimensionally shifted superfluid, which is a bullshit liquid that requires you to build a DTPF plus some plasma going and some of the stabilized baryonic matter, which needs the last tier of purification, water purification. And guys, you can't imagine how frustrated you become when you realize that you need to sidetrack at least a month just because there's one little half a bucket of something that you can get. It's like 250, like a 1/4 of a bucket. You can't do anything about it. You have to sidetrack and build the entire. I mean, it sounds like a daily thing to me. MC Term is like, he understands us and we understand him. Everybody understands everybody here. It's like, you know, there's this like people standing like in a circle, and everybody looking at everybody, and we're like silently like nodding at each other, like, yeah, that happened. You don't really want to be vocal about it because it's kind of like a shame, but at the same time, everybody understands what this is all about. So how do we prevent that from happening? I believe we shouldn't like rush anything first of all, and then we should always look if the multi-block we're building actually has some, I mean, what tier tab it is in. Like, for example, if we're building something in AV, we know that it is possible to build in AV, and we should not look anywhere beyond. Yeah, I got mugged in the same alley. Yeah. By the same robber, you know. Okay, I actually think that we can start crafting the 32 fire bricks. First, we need our concrete. I've carefully tucked away all the items, all the dusts I need for that. I hope that I calculated everything correctly, and I won't have that kind of moment that I just talked about when there's one little piece that I didn't account for, and I was gonna ruin my entire day, entire evening playing this game, this beautiful game with you all people, with you beautiful people, and I feel that it might happen, but I think I calculated everything correctly. So for that we need to gather all our buckets that we have, so that we'll have less runs for the water, even though the water is right next to us in this little cute water tank. Okay. 32 bucket of concrete. We're gonna go with 7. Oh, they're not stacked. They don't stack. Well, it sucks. I want some round number here. Okay. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we've got 8 concrete. We're gonna turn that into however many fire bricks we can. Okay. Some of your eyes, some of the eyes of some of the guys that watch me do it can actually bleed because I'm not using the work table. Blah blah blah. Don't care. I know I'm getting self-conscious about myself not using the most efficient way of doing things, and I would rather run around 60 times per minute to get all the things I need, but this is the way I am. Shout out to everybody who's doing the same thing, who's not really super efficient with all of this. Even though it's mostly about habit, you know, like you just need to get used to that, to efficient ways of doing things. But again, if any of you have questions why I don't do it the way I should, like why am I running around like this and doing it all manually when I can just log everything into a work table, there's an answer. I hate the work table. I hate the environment. I hate every button in this little menu, you know. It's just aesthetically not pleasing for me to work with this thing. This is that simple. Oh. Actually, done. 32 fire bricks. Plus a controller that I already have. Who's doing what wrong? Corms, don't you ever scare me like that. What did I do wrong? What am I doing wrong? I'm starting to get defensive here. I think it's either a joke or well, fire bricks plus brick blast furnace. That isn't what I would do in this situation. So in this situation, you wouldn't have crafted 32 fire bricks, or you would have used the. What did I do wrong? Let's sit and think about it. 32. Ah, of course. That was a very long joke. It's like you're trying to mock the people that are being overly expert on anything somebody does. No, I understand. Actually, no, it's no problem because I understand that writing and texting is a lot slower, and I have to adjust for that myself. It's totally fine. It's that I can see things fast because I'm saying it, even though I'm also too slow sometimes because I can't find the right words. But still, yeah. But you know, Corms, the punchline sort of was what's this abbreviation, like DOA, right? Dead on arrival. Yes, it's when you you get it. You get the thing. It was DOA. By the time you did the punchline, the punching bag was already not in the building. But yeah, I should have built Stargate. Why on earth would I want to build like this brick furnace? So where do we place it? I think here is a good spot. Even though I have some sweet crops growing here, and I don't really want to delete those because I'm gonna need a lot of sugar sooner or later. But it's easy to grow them, so I think I'm just going to delete that. I still have some grass here, so if it needs be, I'll just branch it out into this direction. So here I'm going to have my brick blast furnace. It's a 1 block taller than these guys in Cocoven. And I know that it's also sort of like empty. I think it's empty. Oh, and I also need to use a wrench to deconstruct it. Here I have it. Did it form? Because I know there should be lava inside. I think it's activated when there's like cooking happening. So now I know that in terms of speed, I could probably go ahead and do something about cactuses or the sugar canes. to get the sugar coke that it's not like 320 seconds, it's about 240 seconds, so it's 1/4 faster to cook steel in there with that, but let's just go ahead and do it. So I think I shouldn't have destroyed all this Swede. Let's plant some more of it, and let's also periodically harvest it, so that our steel is crafted faster, because apparently we can't really allow ourselves to build our second BBF, thus the first one should be faster. For now I need dirt to expand the Swede. Why is this weird name Swede? They could have just called it like sugar weed or something. Let's plant it somewhere here. Wait for that to... I think I could go for some more of those dirt blocks. Right. Now I want to focus on getting silver for steam solar boilers, and then work toward iron tank, RC iron tank. You know what I think they should do in Greg Tech? It's the most genius idea ever. So, whenever we start up our BBF, there's like a block of lava inside of it that starts glowing and stuff. So imagine me picking up that block and getting lava, like a lava bucket, but upon doing that, I lose the current running recipe. Like if there was like a steel cooking, I would lose that. Eventually getting this lava. Because physically, visually, it's there, you know? Sugar charcoal. I think we have to run it one more time to make it work in here. So where's the steel recipe? 1 iron ingot plus 8 sugar coke, really? I don't know. I don't think it checks lava, because lava there is just a purely visual thing. You can't pick it up or anything, so Also, I don't really understand if I smelt iron dust in a blast furnace, then it gives me a steel ingot every 240 seconds. And if I smelt steel dust, it's the same time. Shouldn't it be faster? Also, I think I'm going to use charcoal for now because this is going to take some time. Okay, now we need to get 8 steel ingots. So the initial rush of getting the BBF ended, and now I feel miserable because there's so much to do, and I'm super poor in all regards. Actually, I just remembered that I have a forge hammer, and this episode I was doing my iron plates the manual way. It's stupid. Could have saved so many ingots, but no, let's forget about it. Let's just do it the usual way. Why is it so loud? It's like the sound overlaps. Oh my god, somebody's shooting at me. From this. Oh, the dudes are here. Because I forgot to light the place up. Oh my god. They shot at my machines. What the hell's going on? Oh my god. My village has been zombified. It has been zombified. There's a dude with... and another one. How did they get there? I hope that was it. Yeah. So 3 silver ingot plus. Actually, I have just enough for one. Just enough for one solar boiler. I think we should work on that now. And then the RC tank would probably be the next thing to do. I know it requires about 400 iron ingots, which is about 6 stacks of iron. I could probably leave steel cooking overnight, but no, I don't want to do that. Oh no, it's not enough. It wasn't enough. I had 3 plus 8, of course it's 11 and not 12. Miscalculated. Okay, 1 steel. I'm holding a steel ingot at the moment. It's a very good feeling. So once I have steel, I open quite a few possibilities. First one being nether. I'm just really curious what nether looks like in this world. In this setting. I kind of hope for lava ocean underneath, but I think that's just going to be void instead. A bunch of creeper slimes. Those do deal damage, but as far as I know, they don't explode like creepers do. Well, actually, maybe 11 silver ingots is enough, because I'm going to be using a forge hammer to get all my plates, so the ratio is a bit better than 2 to 1. One more thing, a vacuum tube needs for circuits to get... Yeah, I'm sick. Sorry for all the running noises and running nose noises, stuff like that. I'm just kind of... I was thinking about streaming or not streaming. I was also thinking about going on mute, you know, just to cover up for cover all this thing. It kind of happens to me during autumns, and I can't do anything about it. It's sort of like a seasonal thing for me. I don't know. Maybe if it gets worse, I won't stream. Glass tube. So this glass dust needs a ball mold to get the glass tube. But how do you get the mold if you can't really have a casting table shit because of the lava? And you can get lava through simmering comb. Oh. Wait. Centrifuge. Steel bars. It's just steel. It's there's no circuits. That's what I've... Oh my god. Oh my god. This is so expensive. No, Contosil, no. I wish I could do that, but no. And a squeezer. So it's a lot of steel. Oh my god. Strengthened glass. Obsidian glass. At least I could go for obsidian glass. Yeah, it's one of those rabbit holes. If I didn't have that, the run would have been impossible. Solar boiler, double silver, so 6. And I do have that. Okay, that's good. Enough silver for one boiler. Boiler alert. 3 glass. Bricked hole. I have PTSD from that. I'll probably have to branch out my steam machinery a bit. I will have my small coil boiler working, and at the same time I will have this this solar panel working as well. So, and they're gonna be feeding into one pipe, and that's gonna go and distribute all the steam amongst the machines. So I will need a lot of bronze to succeed in this endeavor, I think. So it's 5 plus 6 just for the solar boiler itself. And then about 6 more for all the steam distribution later on. I think I should also have like wooden pipes that would transfer water to my solar boiler. And as far as I remember, it should be fed from the bottom. sun. Mhm. So they're saying that I should feed it from the bottom. Okay, so what's the layout? Let's just destroy all this. Okay, so coal boilers are gonna go here. Actually, I can put it just right next to the water tank, and they input water automatically without needing any kind of pipes. But okay. And then I'm connecting it here. And all my machines will be... Well, it's a very temporary setup. I'll change it, of course. Probably even move the whole thing somewhere else. I think I want to have singular chests. And I do have some more hoppers to work with. Compressor is also the one I should do. Yeah, this forge hammer is really expensive. Oh, Larvae, I got the BBF. I don't know if you were there when it's got set up. Got it to work, and I already have 4 steel. Plus, I crafted a simple solar boiler just to enhance my steam production. Redesigned the base a bit in terms of putting my machines somewhere else. Like, this is how they look like now. Crafted some of that steam, I mean the bronze flute pipes. It looks ugly, I know, but it's like a temporary setup before I get the RC tank. Then we could probably move and think about something else, something better. Oh, yes, and we should probably use charcoal here. So we did a lot of things today again. A lot of it. Build a BBF, which I thought was gonna take a week to build. Just I mustered up and did it all today because our beloved reliable farm was actually reliable today. So, future plans is to get more solar boilers, is to build an RC tank, or the regular sized one, for 500,000 steam. And I want to keep it fed all the time, keep it full. Then just gather more resources, probably for another BBF, maybe. We need 9 silver per 1 solar boiler, and 9 silver is about at least an hour of waiting for XP buckets, because it's a really expensive recipe. Maybe even more than an hour. Where's our charcoal? We're actually running low on charcoal. It said something in the GitHub tab of GOG that to start making LV circuits you need a vacuum tubes. To do this you will need a ball mold, which you can only make in a TC smeltery. So how do you get lava? You can obtain lava by centrifuging simmering combs. Yeah, so basically now we need a villager that sells simmering combs, and then a lot of steel to get all the machines necessary for getting that lava out of that. Yeah, but it's like a side quest, because I can't really force that. I can only spend some time. God, I can only spend some time shooting cookies at the villagers. Perma cobble axes. How so? Is this you're talking about the rock breaker thing? Oh, you need water for that, and water is finite. No? I understand, yes. Does it work this way in GTNH? Because I don't remember. Oh, yeah, I lose it only during obsidian. But... maybe you're actually right. I'll look into that as long as I get that. Okay. I'm glad to know that. Out of all the villagers that I have, there's only one beekeeper villager. And I don't know why. Oh, there's another one, but it's like it's a bad version of it. Let's just kill them all. I want to try some stupid thing. Like there's lava inside a BBF. I want to pour water over that and see what happens. Probably nothing. But there's literally like lava in there. I know I can't pick it up or anything. I don't know if it damages me if I fall there, but if it does, it probably dies. So, guys, I got cobblestone. I got cobblestone in that bullshit. Is that infinite source of cobblestone? Okay, and the craft bricked. Oh, we just stopped. That didn't void the stuff, but it stopped the recipe. Look, have you ever seen that happening? Like the line stopped. That did void the recipe though. I lost about about 200 seconds on that bullshit. Oh, so we can run the cheapest. I broke it. I didn't break it. Oh, I did break it. Well, I'm just gonna, you know, place this thing like that. Replace it. I mean, who knew that? I didn't. I was gonna try that just to see that it wasn't gonna work, and it actually worked. Well, actually, let's use coke this time. Let's just out of curiosity research the stupidest possible, the stupidest recipe possible that is like super cheap that I can lose. Is there one? No, actually, all of them are pretty expensive. Like even the one that gives you iron, copper. Oh, you wouldn't want to lose that. But that acts like lava. That did act like lava. Maybe I'm onto something here. Maybe some interstellar revelation that nobody ever thought about. Maybe we can somehow siphon lava out of there. Like it did have lava interaction. That's what's interesting. Let's think about it. I know I'm kinda being stupid here. Well, apparently we can't pick it up with a bucket, because if we could, that would be cool. It even sounds like lava. Oh, guys, there's an idea. There's like a fire beetle mob that can drop lava clay bucket. And these guys spawn in lava. But it's not an overworld creature, so... Pico, hi. I'm trying to see what I can do with BBF lava here. It did act like lava when I poured water over that. It created cobblestone. That was really surprising for me. I didn't know it was gonna happen. And now I'm thinking, if it acts like a lava block, then perhaps putting that in the nether is going to spawn lava beetles, or are those like, I think those are twilight creatures. So, lava bucket. Who do I get it from? It's Twilight, yes. And are there any creatures? Lava monster. This is what I'm talking about. Can I theoretically place my BBF in a nether and get the lava monster to spawn? I think that's totally possible. Pico, please tell me I'm onto something here. Why can't it work? I think those are nether creatures. I think it's worth a try. If I'm teleporting to nether soon, as soon as I have 8 steel, I'll be going there. What I want to see there, I'll probably see just void, right? Nothing but void. No lava underneath, nothing. No lava oceans, nothing. And if I somehow place a few blocks there, then I will start the pigment to spawn, right? Yeah, it's not a full block, even though... Ah, you're saying that it gave me cobblestone because it was not a full block. Oh. What if I could somehow... No. Yes, I'm playing with quest book. I'm playing with coins quest book. Yes. Because I don't even know how you get to Nether without a quest book, because it gives you obsidian. It's the only way to get the obsidian as far as I know. But I'm not using loot bags. Just the rewards that are there. I don't want this. I mean, I'm trying. I'm like shooting cookies at those idiots, but they don't. Like the chance of getting a beekeeper is like 1 in 20 or something. Yeah. We're getting to Nether soon. Almost done with the steel. 100 seconds. I've already got the... I even have 2 flint and steel from all the mobs. And we're gonna go there and see what's there. Of course, I'm going to go there with no items because I believe I'm gonna die the first time I'm there. Oh, actually, wait. I think I'll spawn on a portal. But I'm not gonna risk it. What if I somehow inadvertently or suddenly move somewhere and fall into the lava? I don't want that to happen. I think I'm going to complete the quest for flint and steel with the command line, because I already got 2 of those things. I don't want to spend my steel on getting what I already have. The same thing. I know it's a craft task, but Larvae, it's not the first time I'm doing it. If you're trying to see whether I'm a cheater player, I think you're a bit late here, because see, I built those Steam machines way before I got into a Steam quest tab. So when I was here, there's also like a few crafting tasks, like Stimulus Smelter. So you wanted me to build a second one while I already have one? I mean, it's super strange. Why is it different? It's the same thing. I got like flint and steel. Yeah, and I have this flint and steel initially from a mob. Even though I didn't craft it, I have it. And it's even enchanted. It's even better than this one. Oh my god. Have a little mercy on me. Okay, I'll craft it. That's not just you. You're trying to sort of like dress me up in your righteous or whatever you're trying to be there. Righteousness, I think. And then Larvae, you must add that I should just cheat in a Stargate if that feels good to me, right? I mean, it's just steel, you know. I'll get it anywhere anyway. It's like 20 more minutes. I'm just gonna do that because copy quest ID. Oh, I forgot the command. Well, I would rather craft the thing than remember the command. So Larvae 1. But it's not because I listen to you. It's because I'm too lazy. Oh yeah. BQ admin. yeah. Corms, that's what I'm talking about. I did the same thing with Steam machines because I got it beforehand, you know. Wait. BQ admin complete and that thing. And in order to do that, I must open to LAN with loud cheats on. Yeah, they don't make sense. That's true. Because complete is without a dash here. Done. So I'm choosing Obsidian, of course. And I got moss, which I'll store for later. Once I get some OP item. Bookshelf, why do I need bookshelf? What's a bookshelf? That kind of bookshelf? Why did I place bookshelf? Where did I place bookshelf? You mean this one? Because somebody told me that I can get some aspects through them, slowly but surely. Oh, I even got 5 Perditio suddenly. Pico, I can't believe you didn't know that. Wow. It's so strange of you to not know something. Yeah, right. Sounds like you remembered that that was true. Okay, so we're going to Nether now. I'm going to build my portal somewhere far away from here so that there's no sound. I'm too early into the Thaumcraft and I have some problems with... Well, I shouldn't have done that. I could have just went to... Oh my god. Stupid. We'll be careful next time. Look what I did. Two blocks tall instead of 3. How do I remove that now? It's not gonna work this way. Uh-oh. Well, that was a... Well, I'm still good because I have 9. I could just place that in a different place, you know, here somewhere. Let that be... No, it's fine. I'm good. I'm definitely good. What don't? I think I need 8. No? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6... Alright, 10. Really, 10? 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah. 10. So, I'm just gonna use the other side, right? No, why is it a big fumble? I could just... I'm not afraid to... Well, I would have backed up... Did a backup for that? I would have loaded a backup, of course. Or, even better, I would have entered some kind of creating... Yeah, how about falling? Yeah, I think, what if I, like, use some of those obsidian to make another portal, like, close to it, using those blocks? Is it gonna anyhow interfere with the structure and not make me lit up thing? It's just an interesting question I have. I don't want to break any of the obsidian because it's very not cheap. I can't even... So what I want to do is just use this side as a starter, you know, and build kind of like this. Will it light up? Or... What larvae? And build it like there? I don't want it there. Oh, actually, it does look like the... It looks like the flint and steel kind of thing, you know? Like this sea thing. What if I'm using this side as a left wall or a right wall? Is it gonna work? Because I would rather do it like this. Like, you know, like this one, if I go like there. I can't make obsidian blocks. I got them from a quest, and I spent just enough so that I cannot place a portal anywhere. I had to build it close. Wait, where's my flint and steel? Did I just lose it? Oh, here it is. build it one block down so I can use all three. Yeah, I understand. Well, I think that's the best advice from MC Term here. Like that, right? Yes. And then 1, 2, 3. Then a dirt block. 2. Well, working. I'm going to place a chest here and do that just in case. Let's go see what we got there. Oh my god. Oh, it actually gives you a platform. Well, no lava, because I imagine there would be some lava here. So you're saying it's just void? Free obsidian generation. Well, I don't know about free, because it eats up lava. If that's what you're talking about, every obsidian. So we do have break the portal in the Nether. Break the portal in the Nether. Die. So it's in a grave. Go back through portal. Ah. But is that true that once I'm dead and the portal is not there anymore but in my grave, is it true that next time I spawn the portal is gonna be created next to my grave instead of in like a random spot? Is it gonna go in the same spot as the previous one? And actually, I died and the grave is just below. It's so far away from where I am now. It's not random. Okay, I understand. It's a very good advice as well. I don't know what Nether did to us and with us, what it did to us, and out of those things, I think I want to get the probably a snow golem. I think out of all the things I have, lava crystal is useless. I think I'm gonna go with this snow golem here. I also got some imp skin drip. Flaming idiots. Another furnace, another bricks, another rack dust. What's your sugar goal, Larvy? Ah, that's easy. How about octuple compressed? What's that? Charcoal. Really? Oh, I meant cobblestone. Sorry. Yeah, charcoal does not exist. I meant cobblestone. So how long is it gonna last you once you put it in your boiler? I mean, a multi-block boiler probably is where you want to put it. Probably enough for you to to last you your LV tier or whatever, or wherever you at. Not that I want to downplay your playthrough speed, but it's gonna last you a good while. Okay, guys, I think this is it for today. Well, probably close to where I am. Maybe you're a bit farther, but still. It's getting late in where I am, and thank you all for watching. We did a lot of things today, a lot of good things. Progressed a bit. Even gotten another, which is a very, very positive thing. Next time we're gonna work on getting more iron, more solar boilers, more silver and stuff, and let's just save and quit. And again, see you all guys next time. Peace and goodbye, everybody.